lurking in the dark? Because sometimes the most dangerous person on your street is the one who waves back at you in the morning. This is not the story of a monster hiding in the shadows. This is the story of a man who went to church, who raised kids, who enforced city rules as a compliance officer, and who, for nearly 3 decades, hunted human beings without anyone suspecting a thing. This is the complete story of BTK. Bind, torture, kill. The terrifying truth behind the mask. And the question that still haunts Wichita, Kansas: how did no one see it? The Otero family. Wichita, Kansas, January 15th, 1974. A calm city, predictable, safe. The kind of place where crime feels distant, abstract. That morning, something feels wrong at 803 North Edgemore. The Otero family doesn't answer the phone. Hours pass. Charlie Otero, 15 years old, comes home from school that afternoon. What he finds will haunt him forever. His father, Joseph Otero, 38, a retired Air Force veteran. His mother, Julie, 34. His brother, Joey, 9 years old. His sister, Josephine, 11. All 4 dead. Charlie runs to a neighbor's house, screaming for help. When police arrive, they find a scene unlike anything Wichita has ever seen. A crime scene like no other. There's no forced entry, no signs of a struggle that neighbors heard, which means one thing: the Oteros let him inside. Detective Bernie Drawatsky is one of the first on scene. He's worked homicides before, but nothing like this. Joseph Otero is found with a plastic bag over his head, strangled. Julie, bound and strangled in the bedroom. Joey, face down in his parents' room, a bag over his head. And Josephine, hanging in the basement. The killer moved her there, posed her. This wasn't a robbery gone wrong. This wasn't a crime of passion. This was methodical, calculated, rehearsed. The killer took his time. He had control. And as detectives process the scene, trying to understand what kind of person could do this, the killer is already back at work, blending in, planning the next move. The letters begin. 3 months pass. Then, in October 1974, a letter arrives at the Wichita Eagle newspaper. Then another call to a local TV station. The writer describes the Otero murders in chilling detail, details only the killer would know. He criticizes the police investigation, calls them incompetent. He's frustrated, not because he feels guilty, but because he's not getting enough attention. And then he does something almost unprecedented. He names himself BTK, bind, torture, kill. Not a nickname given by journalists, a brand, an identity. He even suggests other names they could use: the Psycho, the Wichita Strangler. But BTK is what sticks, because for Dennis Rader, this was never just about killing. It was about being remembered. The man behind the mask. Dennis Lynn Rader, born March 9, 1945 in Pittsburgh, Kansas, raised in Wichita, the oldest of 4 boys. His childhood is unremarkable to outsiders, but Dennis is different. Quiet, awkward, socially isolated. He tortures animals as a child, a common early warning sign. He develops fantasies, dark ones, about control, bondage, domination. He doesn't fit in at school, feels invisible, and that sense of invisibility becomes something he'll weaponize later. In 1971, Dennis marries Paula Dietz. She's kind, devout, trusting. They'll have 2 children together, a son and a daughter. From the outside, Dennis Rader looks like everyone else. He works for ADT Security, installing alarm systems. The irony is almost grotesque. He's the man people invite into their homes to make them feel safe, and he's studying them, learning their layouts, their routines, their vulnerabilities. The methodology of a predator. Dennis doesn't kill impulsively. He stalks for weeks, sometimes months. He calls them projects. He drives by their homes, memorizes schedules, who leaves first in the morning, who comes home alone, where the bedrooms are, how the doors lock. He breaks into homes when families are away, not to steal, to rehearse. He walks through their rooms, opens drawers, touches their things, imagining the moment. Because for Dennis, the fantasy is almost as important as the act. Control is everything. And when he finally strikes, he's already lived it 100 times in his mind. The killing continues. April 4th, 1974. Just months after the Oteros, Catherine Bright, 21 years old, Dennis breaks into her home, expecting her to be alone. But her brother Kevin is there. He shoots Kevin twice. Kevin survives and escapes. Catherine is not as lucky. She's stabbed multiple times. She fights hard, but Dennis overpowers her. This murder doesn't go as smoothly as the Oteros, and it frustrates him. March 17th, 1977. Shirley Vian, 26, a mother of 3 young children. Dennis locks her children in the bathroom, tells them their mom will be okay if they stay quiet. Then he strangles Shirley in her bedroom. The children hear everything. December 8th, 1977. Nancy Fox, 25. Dennis calls the police himself after killing her. From a payphone. Calm, cold. He tells them where to find the body because he wants credit. He wants them to know. And then, silence. April 27th, 1985. Maureen Hedge, 53, a neighbor of Dennis Rader. She lives just doors away. He strangles her, takes her body to his church, Christ Lutheran Church, where he's a respected member. He photographs her there, then dumps her body in a ditch. September 16th, 1986. Vicki Wegerly, 28. Dennis poses as a telephone repairman. She lets him in. He kills her in her home while her husband is at work. For years, police don't connect this murder to BTK. January 19th, 1991. Dolores Davis, 62. Dennis breaks into her home, strangles her, takes her body, dumps it under a bridge. And then, silence. 13 years pass. No letters, no murders. Investigators wonder if BTK is dead, imprisoned for another crime, or simply satisfied. But Dennis Rader is none of those things. He's living his life. In 1991, he takes a job with Park City, Kansas as a compliance officer. He enforces city ordinances, measures grass height, issues citations. People call him petty, controlling, a stickler for rules. But no one calls him dangerous. At home, he's still married, still raising his children. His daughter graduates high school, goes to college. His son plays sports. He coaches youth activities. He becomes president of his church council at Christ Lutheran Church, a man trusted to guide others spiritually and morally. He lectures people about discipline, values, right and wrong, and no one questions him. Because monsters don't always look like monsters. His wife, Paula, sees a man who's distant, controlling at times, but violent, murderous? Never. She has no idea. No one does. The boredom returns. Dennis Rader is 59 years old. His kids are grown. His life is routine, and routine for someone like Dennis is unbearable. He starts reading about BTK again, old news articles, cold case coverage. He's frustrated. People are getting facts wrong, forgetting details. Worse, they're forgetting him. So he decides to remind them. March 2004. a package arrives at the Wichita Eagle. Inside, photos, documents, a word puzzle, and a message. BTK is back. Over the next year, Dennis sends more packages to newspapers, TV stations, police. He includes items from his crimes, photos of his victims. He even leaves a package in a cereal box at a Home Depot. He's taunting them, playing a game, and investigators, led by Lieutenant Ken Landwehr, know one thing: he's getting comfortable, and comfortable criminals make mistakes.
The fatal question. The task force knows Dennis wants communication, so they communicate back through newspaper ads. They ask him questions, he responds. It's a bizarre public dialogue. Then, in February 2005, Dennis sends a message asking a specific question. Can a floppy disk be traced back to a computer? The police response is carefully crafted. They place an ad in the Wichita Eagle. Rex, it will be okay. Translation: no, it can't be traced. It's a lie. And Dennis believes it. February 16, 2005. A purple floppy disk is found at a UPS Dropbox. On it, a deleted Microsoft Word document. The metadata is still there. Author: Dennis. Last saved at Christ Lutheran Church. Investigators cross-reference. Dennis Rader, Church Council President. They pull his daughter's medical records from Kansas State University. Run a DNA comparison with evidence from the Wegerle crime scene. It's a match. The arrest. February 25, 2005. Dennis Rader is driving his city compliance truck. He's pulled over near his home, surrounded by police. He doesn't resist, doesn't run. He looks at them and says, calmly, "I know why you're here." At his home, investigators find what they call a motherlode. Drawings, writings, photographs, souvenirs from his victims, detailed journals describing his fantasies, his projects, masks, bondage materials, and a handmade hit kit. Rope, tape, weapons. Everything meticulously organized. Because Dennis Rader wasn't just a killer, he was an archivist of his own horrors. The confession. June 27, 2005. Dennis Rader pleads guilty to 10 counts of first-degree murder. At his hearing, he describes each crime in detail, calmly, almost clinically. He refers to his victims as projects. He explains his process, his mistakes, his successes. He shows no remorse, no empathy, just a man finally getting the audience he always wanted. The courtroom is filled with family members of his victims. They hear him describe their loved ones like objects, like trophies. Some weep, some stare in disbelief, because the man in front of them doesn't look like a monster. He looks like a neighbor, a coworker, someone you'd wave to in a parking lot. The aftermath. Dennis Rader is sentenced to 10 consecutive life sentences, 175 years, no possibility of parole. He's now incarcerated at El Dorado Correctional Facility in Kansas. He spends his days in isolation, writing, letters, drawing, still seeking attention, still trying to control the narrative. Paula Rader files for divorce immediately. She releases a statement saying she had no knowledge of his crimes, and investigators believe her. Dennis kept his two lives completely separate. His daughter, Carrie Rawson, writes a book years later, A Serial Killer's Daughter. She describes the trauma, the betrayal, the impossible task of reconciling the father she loved with the monster the world knows. The real lesson. The story of BTK isn't just about Dennis Rader. It's about the people of Wichita who lived in fear for 30 years. It's about the investigators who never gave up. It's about the families, the Oteros, Catherine Bright, Shirley Vian, Nancy Fox, Maureen Hedge, Vicki Wegerle, Dolores Davis, who lost people they loved. And it's about a disturbing truth. Evil doesn't always announce itself. It doesn't always look dangerous. Sometimes it coaches Little League. Sometimes it leads church council. Sometimes it waves at you in the morning. Dennis Rader lived among people for decades. He was trusted, respected, ignored. And that's what makes this story so unsettling. Because if Dennis Rader could hide in plain sight for 30 years, who else is hiding right now? Not every neighbor is a killer, but BTK reminds us, the scariest monsters don't look like monsters at all. They look like us. If you want more true crime stories told with depth, care, and respect for the victims, subscribe, because these stories deserve